So I thought it would be really clever if I was drinking a Dr. Pepper while I was doing this intro. However, I decided not to do that. I no longer drink soda. However, I definitely appreciate Dr. Pepper, and I love this new collaboration that they're doing with Jack Mason. Jack Mason make some amazing watches. They're sort of an up-and-coming brand. They're doing a lot in the space with their new GMTs and, of course, their dive watches. Today, I have their latest collaboration. It's an official collaboration with Dr. Pepper, and of course this is a GMT. It's based on their Strat-o-timer, so you're getting a Traveler GMT with an actual tie to a soda, not something like a Pepsi or Coke. This is actually an official Dr. Pepper. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the collaboration between Dr. Pepper and Jack Mason. So as far as I know, most of the GMTs that we know are nicknames that watches get are not official. A very good example of that is this watch right here. This is called the Dark Knight. This is also from Jack Mason, obviously, meant to be a Batman call out, but that's not an official name. That's just a nickname. And, they can't call it Batman Dark Knight or something like that because they would have to get licensing for that. As far as I know, brands like Rolex and other brands that have nicknames, the Pepsi, the Coke, Sprite, all of that good stuff, root beer, those are all just nicknames and obviously not official. So when Jack Mason told me that they're going to be teaming up with Dr. Pepper and it would be an official collaboration, I was actually very excited because I knew that meant that they could actually use the Dr. Pepper colors and Dr. Pepper red and sort of a maroon color, I guess. And then there's some orange in there as well. And they would actually be able to use some of the, imagery and all of that good stuff. So I like Dr. Pepper a lot. It's like one of my favorite sodas, so pretty cool. This is a limited edition. I think it's only limited to like 230 pieces. It comes in a Dr. Pepper box. It says Dr. Pepper right there. Good for life. Limited edition GMT watch. When you open it up, it's very similar to other, packaging that you get from Jack Mason. Inside, you get an extra strap. And there are some stickers, Dr. Pepper stickers here, and then you get this little coin that obviously just lets you know that it's designed in Texas, assembled in the United States. I believe they assemble these in Arizona or something like that. But it does come in this pouch. This is a travel pouch that they give you with every single watch. Snap this open. Inside you have, of course, the Dr. Pepper. So now the colors you're going to immediately see on here are that sort of maroon colors, the two maroon colors that they use for Dr. Pepper on that sapphire crystal bezel. That's a bidirectional 24-hour bezel. And then you have that orange right there in the GMT hand. You get a black dial on this watch, the same again as the other Strat-o-timer that I just showed you. So you have applied indices. Those are very large, very liberally applied with lume. You have stick hands. Those are also very nicely applied with lume. And then you have a lollipop hand. That lollipop hand is also filled with lume. You get on the dial the applied logo. That is the Jack Mason star at the 12 o'clock. And then at the bottom of the dial, it just says Strat-o-timer automatic and 200 meters of water resistance, because this actually gets 200 meters of water resistance. So it's sort of a diving GMT, which is great, except of course you're getting a 24-hour bezel so that you could time a third time zone. The arrow for the GMT hand is in orange, and this is of course powered by a Miyota 9000 series, the Miyota 9075. This was actually very big news when they announced this last year at the Wind Up Watch Fair. I think it was around that time. They announced the Strat-o-timer and that it featured the Miyota 9075. So it was basically the first watch that featured the 9075 outside of the Citizen Group. And what they did was they tried to put everything into one watch. So basically give you a very well-spec'd watch for the price. So this was around $999. So right now on their website, if you want the Dark Knight, this is $999. I'm not sure what they're going to charge for this, the new Dr. Pepper. However, I would imagine it would be in that ballpark. It can't be that much more, but it's going to be in that ballpark. I don't know the price just yet. It gets the same bracelet, which I absolutely love. This is a really nice bracelet, and it has one of the nicest and easiest to use micro adjust that is on any watch. You just flip it open, slide it, it's very smooth, and you have a ton. And when I say a ton, it is literally, look at this. That's basically the entire length. So all you have to do is just slide it out and snap it in, and now you have basically used all of that space. It's probably in the neighborhood of 10, maybe more than that, millimeters. It's a lot. It's a lot of space. So you have a lot of adjustment that you can do. All you need to do is just lift it up and then snap it back into place. It's so easy to use. And then you can see you have a signed crown. You get to see the movement from the back. So that is the Miyota 9075. This one has Dr. Pepper on it. So they've actually put the Dr. Pepper on here. This is a limited edition. So it says Jack Mason right up here. And then it gives you the number that it is, this actual model is. So they're very limited. This is the bracelet I was talking about, is basically a Jubilee style bracelet. It's very solid, but it is really nicely made. Very, very thin actually, considering, and it just feels very fluid. You have polished sides, you have polished links down the middle. I think they call it a 7-link bracelet. Solid end links with quick release, just really good. And look how thin the buckle is. It's really thin, so it's actually, I just think this is one of the best buckles. They did a great job designing it. They didn't go overboard, making it complicated. It's thin, it's useful. That's what you want in a buckle. It's just, you know, there, and it's useful. Bi-directional bezel, let's listen to that. Works really well. Not the most audible bezel that you've ever heard, but it is bi-directional, so you know, you have some give and take with that, so it does work well. This does get a very boxed, domed sapphire crystal, and I believe this is around 13 millimeters thick. You also get a large crown, which is screwed in, 6.2 millimeters. You do get female end links on this, so it measures exactly the same on the strap as it does the bracelet, so 46.2 millimeters. And then this is around, I think it's around a 41 millimeter watch, somewhere in between. So 40.6, depending on how you actually grab the case, but it's just between 40 and 41 millimeters. Very quickly, let me show you the watch that I have on my wrist, and then we will do a wrist shot with the new Dr. Pepper. On my wrist today, I have the Strat-o-timer, which is essentially their dive watch version of the Strat-o-timer. So you do get different indices, different hands. It's a little bit cleaner of a dial, I would say, but you do get 300 meters of water resistance, and I think this gets a ceramic bezel, not a sapphire bezel. You also get a different bracelet, which is like an president style bracelet, so a little bit different, but a lot more tool watch oriented because you don't get any polish on the bracelet, so that's actually really nice. Basically the same buckle, which is excellent, and it's around the same size. I think it's a 40 millimeter watch, or 40 and a half, somewhere in that neighborhood. This one is the black, so you get those gilt colors for the indices and hands. I don't drink Dr. Pepper anymore because I was like Forrest Gump. If you put me around Dr. Pepper, I would just continue to drink it. It was my favorite beyond anything else. And I drank way too much soda, and, you know, obviously bad things happen when you drink too much soda. So I cannot be controlled around soda anymore. And I've lost a lot of weight, so I need to stay away from Dr. Pepper. So this is as close to Dr. Pepper as I should be allowed. However, take a look at this. This is awesome. It is really a very good looking watch. The color combination is excellent. The black dial, the brownish orange and red, you know how you have orange in the bezel as well, those Dr. Pepper colors. It looks great. All in all, I think this fits really great on my 7.5 inch wrist. Like I said, this is around a 41 millimeter watch. It wears like a 41. It's between 40 and 41, but that's what it wears like. It's around 13 millimeters thick, and then the lug to lug is around 47 millimeters, or just under 47 millimeters. It works really well on my wrist, and I think it could work for wrists smaller than mine, and obviously larger as well. Well, there you go. The lume is excellent, very, very bright on the indices, the hands, and of course that bezel. very liberally applied. They also did a little bit of a trick with the lume at the 10, 2, and 4. You have a different colored lume. A call out to a slogan that Dr. Pepper used in the 1920s and 1930s, saying basically, drink a bite to eat at 10, 2, and 4 o'clock. So that's what you have there, 10, 2, and 4 o'clock. Really cool that they did that. And obviously the lume is very bright and it lasts a very long time. You even get lume on that second hand. You have a lollipop that is very brightly lumed. I like to see that. Hands are very brightly lumed. You have those stick hands. And then of course the GMT hand also very brightly lumed. All in all, obviously this watch does not disappoint. I think it looks great. And of course the inspiration behind it, Dr. Pepper, just cool. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Jack Mason? What do you think of their collaboration with Dr. Pepper on a GMT? And finally, a GMT actually having a soda name that is an official name. So it's not Pepsi, it's not Coke, like everybody used. This is actually an official name, Dr. Pepper. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. Anyway guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.